What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and of all the things we've heard about what went down, all the ridiculous details that we've gotten about the tragic shooting that went down on the set of Rust, where Alec Baldwin shot and killed Helena Hutchins, the cinematographer, and also injured the director Joel Souza. This detail here may be the worst we've ever heard, and may go to show exactly how bad it was on this set, how little they cared for safety protocols in any way, and it will be investigated. The people will be held liable, either criminally or civilly. There is a long way to go when it comes to this story, but this headline right here should make everybody realize this was a disaster from top to bottom. Rust shooting, gun that killed Helena Hutchins, was used that morning for live ammo target practice. Crew members had gone, quote, plinking, and returned the gun to set. If you don't know what plinking is, it's when you're like shooting beer cans on a fence. That's what they were doing with the guns that they used in this film. With the guns that would later be held by these people as they were acting. They put live ammunition in them, and just to blow off steam, to pass the time, they went and shot beer cans. What the fuck was going on this set? That is extreme negligence for any kind of safety measures whatsoever, and just not taking anything seriously, if I'm being honest. I get it that not everyone is going to be 1000% professional mode all the time on every set. I would never expect that in any line of work, to be honest with you, even though you might want to strive for that. But the idea that this was a normal thing for them to do, grab these guns that they knew they were going to be using for filming later, and just, go out, put some live ammo in them, and just shoot some shit. What the hell? This does come from The Wrap. The gun that killed Rust cinematographer Helena Hutchins last Thursday was used by crew members that morning, hours before, for live ammunition target practice, an individual with knowledge on the set told The Wrap. And it says an individual with knowledge told The Wrap, so they do have an unnamed source. I will tell you this, someone I know that did also hear from someone who was on the set told them a very similar story. Not specifically about beer cans, but that they were taking these guns and using them for target practice during their off time. So this is something that happened. This is one of the reasons that live ammo was there on set. A number of crew members had taken prop guns from the New Mexico set of the indie western, including the gun that killed Hutchins, to go, quote, plinking, a hobby in which people shoot at beer cans with live ammo to pass the time, the insider said. The shooting happened just a few hours later, when lead actor and producer Alec Baldwin discharged a revolver from the first assistant director, David Halls, confirmed that it was a cold gun, meaning that the gun did not have any live ammunition in it. And so much has come out about this assistant director. We talked about it before. I put out a video either yesterday or the day before yesterday about David Halls and about his history. In 2019, in two different instances, he got fired from the set of one when there was an incidental discharge on set. He got fired from that movie. And then in another one, there were multiple complaints from people he worked with that he failed to announce accurately when weapons arrived on the scene, as was his duty. So this is a guy who has past safety problems, didn't do the proper checks, and put that gun in Alec Baldwin's hands, who didn't check it, and then was responsible for the bullet that hit Helena Hutchins. This story, the more that comes out, the more unbelievable it is that it got to this point, that people would allow it to get to this point on the set of a film. Search warrants issued over the weekend by New Mexico authorities said that Halls had grabbed one of the three prop guns set up by armorer Hannah Gutierrez-Reed and yelled, quote, cold gun, as he handed it to lead actor Alec Baldwin, indicating the gun did not have any live rounds. We've also talked about Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, the armorer, the one who was an OnlyFans person, basically. She was an online model with some pay pigs, who seemed to care far more about doing that and about modeling than she ever really did about getting into the armorer business, about being someone that was in charge of these guns on set. Nonetheless, she was put there. Only her second job ever as an armorer. And in the first one, they had to halt filming because she didn't properly safety check a gun before handing it to a child. That's the type of talent, that's the type of experience level that we're dealing with between Hannah Gutierrez-Reed and the assistant director. And of course, Alec Baldwin, who probably doesn't know too much about guns, let's just be honest, considering he wants to take them away from everyone. Baldwin, who is rehearsing a scene for the film, was, quote, pointing the revolver towards the camera lens when it hit director Joel Souza and Hutchins, according to a search warrant made public on Sunday. And in that search warrant actually detailed that Alec Baldwin, they were in the church, Alec Baldwin was on the pew, basically on a bench, and he was practicing drawing his weapon from the bench. And he pulled it out once, no problem. He pulled it out a second time, and it doesn't say there whether he pulled the trigger, whether he hit the hammer, what happened, but obviously this gun went off in Alec Baldwin's hand, and it went to Helena Hutchins. I've said multiple times there's so much blame to go around. Whether we're talking about the armor, whether we're talking about the assistant director, whether we're talking about Alec Baldwin who fired that fatal shot, or Alec Baldwin, the producer of this movie, because yes, that's right, Alec Baldwin was a producer for this movie and was responsible for some of what was going on set when it came to safety, when it came to hiring these individuals. Bad news for him. Potentially criminally, we don't know yet. We haven't heard yet specifically, but absolutely civilly. There's no doubt about that. Asked for comment, the producers of Rust referred to the previous statement. Of course, the safety of our cast and crew is top priority of Rust Productions and everyone associated with the company. Though we were not made aware of any official complaints, official, I like how you put it that way, concerning weapon or prop safety on set, we will be conducting an internal review of our procedures while production is shut down. We will continue to cooperate with Santa Fe authorities in their investigation and offer mental health services to the cast and crew during this time. Well, that's just great. I'm sure that Helena Hutchins is really happy that you're providing mental health services. It's so tragic that this woman lost her life, 42 years old. The details of the tragic shooting of the 42-year-old cinematographer seem to only get more disturbing on Monday as eyewitness accounts have raced through the Hollywood guilds and tight-knit indie communities. This is the part right here that really tells you everything you need to know about what went down. The new warrants confirmed that several of the film's camera crew walked off set complaining about housing, payment, and working conditions, forcing producers to scramble to find a new crew. According to The Insider, a walkout by crew members from the below-the-line IATSE union would ordinarily trigger a shutdown of the entire production for a day or two. Instead, they hired non-union replacements to continue the shoot. So non-union workers were on the set when this happened. Might explain why they weren't familiar with some of these safety protocols, why they didn't say something when they were broken. Reed Russell, whom the warrant identifies as the cameraman who was standing next to Hutchins and Souza, said the crew wrote a letter to the production over the disagreements, and after stepping out for 5 minutes and returning to lunch, the team was already in possession of the firearm preparing for the scene. He was unsure if it had been checked again in that time. This is terrible. And there's a lot of people out there spinning for different sides, whether it be political, whether it be whatever. A lot of people out there trying to shift blame as far away from Alec Baldwin as possible. I've said several times in a lot of these videos, I think there's a lot of blame to go around. You can't pin it on one specific person. There is a ton of blame. Everyone shares in this. It'll be interesting to find out how they're held accountable, whether it's civilly or criminally. You know we're going to keep talking about it when it happens because this is a massive, massive story with huge implications for the way things work in Hollywood from here on out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.